So here's the basics of Triple M. Do you want to save some money, make some extra cash, or pay off some old debt? Then Triple M is definitely for you. So what is Triple M? It's the world's largest donation exchange network with more than 138 million members of people who donate money to each other in exchange for Mavros. So what are Mavros? Mavros is an independent digital currency with a fixed growth rate of 30% per month. Meet John. Today he makes an offer to donate 1,000 Rand. He immediately gets 1,000 Mavros, which immediately start growing at 30% per month. And then, 4 weeks later, John receives a donor. John then pays the donor 1,000 Rand. Guess what? His Mavros were growing from the day he made the offer. John now has 1,300 available Mavros. This means John can now request to receive a donation of up to 1,300 Rand, or he can just leave his Mavros to grow at 30% per month, so later he can request a much higher withdrawal. There's more. John is so excited he tells all his friends and family about Triple M. He gets 10% of each of his friends' donations paid to him in Mavros. Awesome, because now even his bonuses are growing at 30% per month. So here's the deal. There's no joining fees, no monthly subscription. Donate from as little as 100 Rand. Unlimited bonuses, earn Mavros before you've even paid, and change the world one person at a time. So let's get started today. Log on to triple-mzone.co.za, click on join now, and let's get started.
2-minute video. If you guys are interested, you've seen the small thing, you can go on e-learning, that's M&M Zone e-learning, and go and check the video out. There's a lot of information there. Basically, if you want to show anybody anything, go to e-learning, it's right on site, and you'll see basically everything is there. Okay. Okay, so you'll see M&M is growing so fast. A few weeks ago we had this slides. It was 138 million people, 107 countries. We're growing very fast. You can see that about 60 million people extra from January. So that is quite substantial. So M&M is the largest donation exchange network in the world. So just how to explain that to you guys a little bit is like a stokvel. We all know stokvel. Everybody puts money into one kitty, and at the end of the month one person gets it. The difference here is we get 30% growth on the money as well. Okay? So a little bit of background, because if you're going to search on the internet, you will find a lot of information. In 1994, Mr. Margate started Triple M, and within a couple of months he had 1/3 of the entire cash of Russia in his position. So the government did not like that, because the community was too big a success and it was too nice, so they just didn't like it. Okay, so they closed Triple M down. There's a movie about it, you can go and check the video out. You will find it on the internet, it's better media. Very interesting about what's going on there. So what he did then, the next time he opened Triple M again after he basically went to jail not for Triple M, go look at the video, and then when he came out of jail he started this Triple M again. And what he did wrong is he put all the money into one trust fund. And what they've done is they just closed the trust fund. And so then after a long time thinking, he started Triple M that we are doing now. And basically what we do is we take the money and we don't put it into a trust fund, we put that money in the community. So you're saving, like you save in the bank, you save actually in the community. Okay, so that's a win-win situation. So now, where did it all start? The whole ideology of Triple M started with these guys. They're the banking elite. Those are the guys that have been enslaving us all the years. Because what they do is they build a big building, they make 200% per month on the money, and they give you 8% per year. I don't think that's very fair. Okay, so who of you can tell me Triple M, how much interest do we eat? 30%. Nice, we can have a cup. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. The banks let us believe a lot of things, like these two notes. What is the value difference in these two? Anybody?
Color.
Right?
Nothing.
It's exactly the same. It's two pieces of paper. It's nothing different from any piece of paper. But this one is brown, this one is green. So from this little, they told us this one is 20, this one is 10. Because that's what they tell us. And we unfortunately believe everything we see in the media, everything we see on the internet or everywhere we believe. Okay, so those belief systems that these elite guys tell us, that makes that we don't understand how this community works. Okay, so what I would suggest is go educate yourself. There's a lot of things on the internet, how and stuff, how the world works. Okay. So then how does MMM work? We've got two terms just for you to understand. We've got provide help, we call that PH. We've got get help, we call that GH. So how Triple M works is one person donates into the community. So you make a donation, and then afterwards that donation is growing. I'm going to explain to you this now. Then what happens, you can actually ask back for help, and that is where the money comes in. So what works, how does it work? You make a promise to pay somebody into the community for 1,000 rand. The moment you pay that 1,000 rand over, you will get 1,000 mavros. That's like a point system. We all know holiday points and all that systems. That's a point system, and that point is growing by 30%. Okay? So it's not the money growing, it's the points that's growing. So this guy is now receiving the 1,000 because previously he was denoting money into the system, and now he asked for 1,000 rand. Okay? Once you get your money and it's in your bank account, you go and you make a little video and you get another additional 5%. Okay? That's training. We'll get to that whenever you need to do your video. And it's also, again, you can go on e-learning as well and go check it out. Okay? So if there are any questions, just quick about the, so anybody doesn't understand what's going on there. Okay. So there's more referral bonuses. So you've seen this now, but then this guy referred this guy. So in other words, every time when this guy makes a promise, this one gets 10%. Okay? So that means if Alan recruited Denise, every time when Denise puts in 1,000 rand, he will get 100 rand. Not 100 rand, 100 rand worth of mavros. Okay? That mavros also is growing 50%. And just to come back to the video, there you get a bonus, the 5% bonus, you get all, it's mavros that you get into your back office. Okay. So then there's manager bonuses. Now to become a manager, you need to basically go to school. Okay, you do a 10-day course and you learn everything about Triple M, and you go to school, like it's an online course you do. Then you get 5% on everybody's account that you manage. Okay, that's not the referral bonus. The referral bonus is apart from that. It's when you manage the accounts. So you get 5%, then the second level 3%, third level 1%, and so on until infinity. So anybody that is that want to be a manager, just speak to your upline, whoever told you about it, they will explain to you. Okay. So then, there's just one thing people always say, come with stories like this is a pyramid, this is this, what about if people don't pay and all that. So what happens is, all the money, every person that puts money into the community, that becomes the net value of the PH. Okay? And everybody that asks money again, that becomes the net value of the GH. So the system will always calculate, and if there's not enough PHs, it will just hold the GHs a while. So that makes that everybody can't take out their money at one time, like for instance what happened with Sama and those kind of things. Okay, so that is just the security. There's actually a lot of things when you do manager course, you'll know there's a lot of things that's built into the system to protect the system from itself. Okay, from not collapsing. Okay. So a little bit of peace of mind. People always say, okay, the system is going to allocate somebody to pay me when I ask for help. How will I know that person is going to pay me? And that's always the big question. So guys, there's 1 million people in South Africa, only 1 million plus. And what will happen is, you will get a ticket like this. And this ticket is saying Adam must pay Tenby within 71 hours 900 rand. So when you see this, then it means, just to come back to peace of mind, let's say this person, Adam, is not paying Tenby, and that 71 runs down to 0, because you only have 71 hours to provide help. Then, unfortunately, Adam is out of Triple M. You're going to get blocked. You can unblock the system, but you'll have to explain why you didn't pay and so on. You don't want to go there. Why is that so? Can anyone tell?
Yeah, to make sure that there's no scalers, no, what is the chance takers.
Yeah, that also, but the thing is,
providing, but they want money.
yeah, and we blocked that person because he made a promise. And we are a community of like-minded people. We don't want people in our community making a promise and then in the day don't keep your promise. So once you make a promise, just keep to your promise. Okay.
It's also to ensure that the recipient will get his money.
Yes, yes. So what he says is quite right. So what's happening now is that Adam needed help. And he don't need help next week or the week after. He needs help now. So that's why Tenby needed help. Sorry guys, Tenby needed help. So Adam must pay Tenby within 71 hours. Right? So let's say Adam don't pay, then immediately the system allocates another person for Tenby to pay. Okay. Now you'll notice that 900 rand is not always exactly the amount that you ask. So somebody can ask 3,000, but it's not always a person in the community that want to donate 3,000. So it can be 2,500, 300, 200, or whatever. It's broken up into so don't be scared if you see no back office, there's different kind of amounts. So then you'll see there's a detail button here. If you click on that button there, you will get all the details from Tenby. So Alan knows exactly the bank account, everybody's details, and you can pay over that amount. Okay? That little button is actually very important. People don't use it. That button is the message button. It's for Tenby and Alan to speak to each other because we don't know each other. Right? So now you can speak to each other. You can ask, Adam can actually ask Tenby, is your bank account correct? Is everything you do that you speak to each other, don't do it on WhatsApp. Do it on the messages. Okay? Because it leaves a trail for support. Everybody knows what's going on. Alright. So, and also managers and also support will check into that. If there's a problem with the transaction, they know what happened. Okay, you don't want to get into a fight on the phone with somebody. We don't need to do that. Okay. You're not getting 50% when your transaction is done. You're getting 1% per day. Okay, that's what you get. So people will get confused about that. It's not 30% per month. It's 1% per day. Okay, so if you want to work it out exactly, then you have to count how many days there is. All right. So, there's no joining fee, no monthly fees. What that means is, if you join Triple M and you put in 100 rand, and you leave that 100 rand there to grow, you can leave it there for weeks, months, years. As long as Triple M goes on, that 100 rand will carry on getting 30%. Okay? So, even if you don't go into your back office for 2 years, after 2 years you can log in and you will see your money has grown. Okay, I've got a guy, he joined me, he's actually here in Margate. He joined just a week after I joined, he put 100 rand in. His 100 rand now, that's 6 months, is almost 380 rand. He don't want to do Triple M anymore, but he just paid the 100 rand and he's just not answering. Once you answer me, I'm going to say, well, now we've got 384, probably you're going to start again. Okay. That's my voice playing with, but he's laser. Alright. We're going to try go on the internet. It's very slow today. It's really, really slow. We couldn't do anything this morning. Okay, you'll see on your back office there's a calculator of happiness. Eric? There's a calculator of happiness. There you can calculate what your money is going to be. That's very nice. Then also for those that don't know, these letters here, you'll see they're scrolling up. So what you can do is go read those things. There's every day in South Africa 26,000 plus letters. Every time when a person receives money, they write a letter, the letter of happiness. That letters is rolling on the on the front page, and you guys will see that it is worth it. If you see that letters and you still don't want to join, yeah, there's something wrong with you. Okay. So just to show you, if you put 100 rand in within Eric, wacht nou hoor. When you put 100 rand in and you leave it there for 12 months, after 12 months it's going to be 2,300 rand. Let's compare that to the bank. Right? Not allowed.
No, you can't.
So yeah, you can't compare it because if you put 100 rand, if you open a bank account and you put 100 rand in, on the end of the year you're going to have minus 200 because there's bank fees and all that. Okay. Let's say you did cover your bank fees and you put in 1,000. If you put 1,000, obviously it's 2,300 you're going to have. If you put that same 1,000 in the bank, you probably end up with 1,012. That is not worth it, guys. And that is what these banks are doing. They create the money, then they charge you money to give you the money that they actually created. Then when you want to give it to somebody else, they charge you again. So they just keep on charging you all the time. Okay. Right, so let's gaan nou daarin. This is a very nice tool. Okay? Why are you smiling? See now how nice the tool is, that's why. This is a very, very nice tool. So let's ask somebody. Can I ask you that? Let's ask you. If you want to buy shoes, okay, what is the shoes, the price of the shoes you normally buy?
500.
Okay, 500. Okay. If I would tell you, if you can wait a little bit for that shoes that you really want, if I tell you money is no objective and you're going to buy shoes, what shoes would you buy? How much is that shoes? Just a figure.
Probably cost like 2.5.
2.5, but you can't afford it now,
Yeah.
but you can afford the 500.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you must do. You put your 500, yeah, you put your 500 in, and to get 2,500, you must wait how long? Wait 7 months, and you can have that shoes. That makes sense, no? Okay, so whatever you want to save for. Let's say you take that 500 and you go put it in the bank, and you wait for your shoes. Your children's children might be okay. Alright, let's do something else. Let's say you've got 50,000 cash, you want to buy a car. As for 50,000 you can't really buy a car, but if that's what you have, that's what you have. Okay? Now you have two choices. Let's say you buy that car for 50,000, you're going to have trouble. Or how long must you wait to buy something for 150? Because if you buy something for 150, you can buy a kind of a decent car. Alright, let's see. So instead of buying that car for 50,000, wait 5 months and buy a proper car. So let's take that to the bank again. You take your 50,000, you're going to put it in the bank, or you're going to loan 150 from the bank. You give a 50 deposit, so you've got 100,000 loan, and you take 5 years to pay off that loan. Then the car's finished, and you end up paying. You borrowed 150, you end up paying how much for that car? 300,000. Okay. So you can't compare. Okay. All right. So that's the presentation. So is there any questions? Yes.
Yes, I still have a question. So for instance, somebody tests the system and they allocated to someone else. Right, the payment didn't go through because I waited till 21 hours is finished. Then the system allocates it to someone else. How long must that person wait for his money? Must he wait another 72 hours?
Another 72 hours, unfortunately. That is why don't plan to say you need money on Friday, you're going to change it on Wednesday. It doesn't work. This you'll see when you sign up, there's a big warning, and then you click to say, I will only use my spare money. Okay. You don't take your investment money or your money that you really need in a month. You don't take that because you don't have control of it. Okay. Alex, speak to Alan, so he'll tell you how to do. You do the course. Okay, you get a computer. You need a computer. You need about 5 to 10 gigs of data, and then you do the course. And after you've done the course, you do the okay. And it's not that difficult. If you could make a trick, you can. Okay. All right, guys. Any more questions? No. Okay.
Number 1K guided.
I'm unemployed, but I'm doing it.
We came from Pretoria with big plans in the plan. We were getting food packages. That's how I fed my family.
Yes. If it wasn't for Triple M.
You change people's lives.
I've seen the changes it's made in so many people's
We
lives
become financially free.
to change their lives and to uplift people. Blessings.